Hi, guys. This is Monet Swan of Secure 65 Health Plans. And as you know, there's a lot going on out here in California. However, that doesn't mean that we forget our audience, because we don't. What I want you to know is we have some great things coming up. What we are doing is doing a replay of last week's because we didn't get a chance to introduce it to our audience. So people didn't know we're back, but we're back and we're ready to give you more information. Also, I want you to know that next week, we have a surprise visitor coming that's going to be great. Her name is Cynthia Sue Larson, physicist, does great things, a heart of gold, and she is going to talk to our senior audience about healing, about money, about security, about belief. You got to be there. Don't miss that. And then I'm giving you a little heads up on what's coming the week after that, which is the 30th. We are doing a special report on POAs. For those of you who don't know what that is, power of attorney. That's right. Some seniors were taken advantage of because they needed to have a power of attorney. And then some seniors are getting taken advantage of because the wrong people have the power of attorney. Right? Same coin, different sides. So stay tuned. Check in with us next week at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And then every week thereafter. This week, you get a chance to go back and look at some golden nuggets we did last week. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay healthy, and stay golden. I'm Monet Swan. Bye.
Before we start today's webinar, let's take a moment and send your prayers and your thoughts to everyone on the West Coast, especially in California, where there's a lot of devastation right now. People have nothing, no houses, no clothes, no food, no cars. So today's webinar is in honor of those struggling today. And on that note, please feel free to reach out to us. We will help you in any way we can. The number is at the bottom of the screen. It's 833-300-4968. And Monet Swan posted an amazing help to them. Monet, would you like to say something about it?
Yeah, so I was going to say, man, I am so grateful and so blessed not to be in an area that was hit by the fires, and things caught a blaze like that. And so what I want you guys to know is that there is the Jewish Free Loan Association, and they are giving up to $15,000 while the money lasts. So, you need to get in touch with them ASAP. Send me an email at info@mybivics.com, which is scrolling at the bottom. $15,000 while it lasts to those who have guarantors for it. If you don't have a guarantor, they will do up to $2,000. You want to make sure that you send your information to us so that we can send you the online application and you can get started, because we don't know how long that money is going to last, but we want to make sure that if you're someone who needs it, that it is available. So again, our hearts, our prayers go out to everyone in California that are suffering with the fires that have taken place. Okay, but there is help out there. So especially now, send us an email right now. Tell us where you are, what you're in need of, and we will assist to get you in a place where you're comfortable. Collaborative Expansion Foundation, our nonprofit, is also helping along with that. So the Jewish Free Loan is a nonprofit, and they will help as much as they can, and so will Collaborative Expansion Foundation. So again, our prayers are with you.
Thank you, Monet.
So
we have a webinar full of great golden nuggets, we call them.
So we're gonna talk about 5 key topics so that we can discuss what these things are, what happened in 2024, 2025 Medicare off the record, right? Because a lot of times people don't know what happened, right, Alicia?
Absolutely. There were so many surprises. Even On the third day of the annual enrollment, we were getting bombarded with tons of emails from all different carriers saying, this is changing, this is changing, this is that. And it was only 3 days into the annual enrollment.
So we're going to talk about the fraud and the constant calling that's going on, the benefits, how they were reduced, not only just for the seniors, but for the agents, providers falling out of network, which is important, plans becoming non-commissionable, which is what Alicia was alluding to, and repeated applications, right? Ridiculous. And that when we talk about it as advocates, we want to make sure you have the best coverage possible. So for that to happen, we all have to work together. There's a call for agents also being stakeholders in conversations with providers, carriers, and maybe some beneficiaries should be on some of these boards to explain what they've had to undergo trying to get enrolled. So let's start off at the top, Alicia, with fraud and constant calling. What did you experience?
There were a lot of fraudulent calls taking place. And you're going to say, oh, that's nothing new, happens every year. Well, last year was more heavy, more intense. People were being threatened. People were getting called up to, I know of one case, 20 times that person got enrolled 20 different times, which is insane. Okay.
And how does that happen though? Tell them what kind of things some of these agents are doing. Not everybody's like that, but the ones that are bad, they stand out and they give everybody a bad name. So what does that look like, Alicia?
Right. As a senior advocate, as well as an insurance agent, our job is to look out in the best interest of our Medicare recipients and everyone involved, including those with the power of attorney. We like to educate them so they can guide together with us the Medicare recipients.
Yeah.
So they were being introduced as, you're going to get a fantastic benefit, which includes a trip, or the benefits are up to $5,000. Those were big, big, fat lies.
And let's talk about the cards, right? What were those cards called?
The flexible cards. Okay.
Yeah, the flexible cards.
The different plans call them something different, okay? But in reality, is a debit card equal to a credit card, okay? In some plans, depending on where you live and your health conditions, it qualifies you to buy over-the-counter medications. In some other cases, you can use it for co-pays. In some other plans, for dental, vision, and dental. But again, not all the plans are the same, and not all the plans cover those benefits.
Yeah, it's so important that people understand. If somebody sold you a plan, and I'm going to say sold you a plan, okay, because that's exactly what it is, and you hear only what they think are the top things that this plan offers, you need to call us so that we can verify it for you, okay? Not everybody is as ethical as we are, but we want to make sure that when they tell you you're going to get a flex card or some type of discount card or whatever that point may be that you said, oh, I really want this gym membership, let's look at if you are giving up something for that benefit or if that benefit is actually real. And that's what's important. A lot of times, you know, seniors, I want you to understand some of the agents that are writing the business only know one carrier. So if they say nobody else is doing it, well, nobody else has a plan that fits what they have based on what they know, which is limited knowledge, which is when they are selling it from their carrier's platform. So understand when you're dealing with brokers, there's so many more options and we don't charge any money, just like if you go to the carrier, but you get all of the benefits and options by coming to us or allowing us to come to you. And part of the problem that we've had, Alicia, is that some of these carriers and I'll just say field marketing organizations call the same people over and 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 over again. So they get 20 calls a day Sometimes they will say things that's just ludicrous, like, oh yeah, I was with the agent. You said an agent just called you. I'm just verifying. And they switch the plans. So we have to be able to talk with carriers and say, stop it. Stop it. If somebody has a plan in place for 2024, 2025, they're no longer eligible to continue to shop and buy because seniors don't know. And a lot of times people on the carrier side don't understand what the agents are dealing with. That's why we're going to get into a little bit further in the conversation who are really stakeholders when it comes to doing Medicare. Because I think not everybody has a voice who's boots on the ground. Right, Alicia?
Absolutely, Monet. And it breaks our hearts when we talk to our clients, those beautiful Medicare recipients. And I said, okay, so we went through this, you know, your benefits, this is what you're going to receive, and so on and so on. And they say, but they already called me from the same agency who called you. Sweetie, you're all set. You don't have to talk to anybody else. So please, when we tell you you're all set and we give you our personal cell phones, you don't have to answer anybody else's calls.
And I'll remember, after you get that call, go right on into your cell phone if you have one and block it. Okay?
Yes.
That will stop that call from coming back. Now, it's not going to stop other people that have it. You know, your name and your information is ubiquitous. Everybody in the planet has it that's in insurance, unfortunately. And so it's hard to really put guardrails up when it comes to who calls you. But I can tell you one thing. When you come to us, and if you tell us that you've had issues, we can help you block or even go to the do not call list, put your name on there, because there is a penalty. And a lot of times seniors don't know that, so they feel like they should allow themselves to be victimized, and that is not the case. That is not the case. These are your golden years. So get with a company, an agency that's there to protect you so that you don't have to continue to go through this year after year when there are solutions. And that's what we do at Bivix. We provide solutions. Anything else you want to say about the aggressive tactics some of the bad actors do to get in?
Yeah, well, our parents-in-law live next door. And my mother-in-law was telling me, I don't answer the phone anymore. And I say, why is that? Because all they do is offer me the world. And I say, good thing. So I'm telling everybody today, if somebody is threatening you or pushing you to do something that you don't feel comfortable with, hang up the phone. Right now, write down the caller ID, and one of us will help you block that caller ID so they don't call you anymore. Okay?
Super important. So we're going to go from the fraud and the constant calling to topic number 2, benefits being reduced. Now, you guys, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to seniors who said, oh, no, I'm set. I'm just going to stay. I had it last year and it's okay. No, it doesn't count. Last year was last year. Okay? Changes occurred on hospital benefits, days you're in the hospital, how much the co-pays are going to be, if they're co-pays, if it's there, if it's not there. It is so important that you use your open enrollment. We called it annual enrollment. And it's kind of crazy how we use it interchangeably, and we shouldn't, right? Annual enrollment, we're right now in open enrollment. And then there's something called initial enrollment when you first join in. But the thing I want you to take away from right now during annual enrollment is when you get a chance to pick what you want. So are you stuck on something that's not good? No, but don't just say, hey, I have it and I'm going to let it ride. This is not Las Vegas. This is your health insurance. And that means it's super important, super duper important that you go through your benefits, your summary of benefits, your coverages to see what has changed. So we have something called ANOC, and it goes out about 15 days, around 15 days prior to the open enrollment, so that you have a chance to look at everything. So what happens? Oh, seniors say, it's from Medicare. Throw it to the side. Oh, I'm good. Everything's good. I'm going to stay right where I am. You may stay right where you are, but there's changes all around your plan, and you need to reach out to one of us and talk to us about it. Alicia?
Thank you, Monet. So some examples of the benefits that were reduced this year comes to the flexible card. There was a gentleman, a sweetheart, happens to be in California, and thanks to his caregiver, he was able to navigate the plans and the benefits and so on. So thank you, all those caregivers out there. In this case, he wanted to get more money on that flex card. What happened? He was getting less money in that specific plan. One of the many changes he faced. Another type of change that he was facing, the medications that they were covered in 2024, 2 of them out of 9 were not covered in the new plan for 2025. So as senior advocates, our job is to protect you and to get you the best possible plan that will cover all your medications. And if the medications are not covered, we reach out to your physician, to your primary care for an exception. So the process can start and those medications get covered. So it's all a process. So what I'm trying to say is, don't think that your plan is not going to change, because it will. Some diminish the amount of benefits that you receive, and just very few are kept the same. Monet?
So don't just take it for granted, guys. Do not. And we've seen it a lot of times that seniors don't realize it's happened until they need it, right? Oh, I had chiropractic last year, but I don't have it this year. Well, nobody told me. Well, they did. They sent you like a 30-page ANOC, annual notice of coverage, that said exactly what they were changing. But I think it might be in that stack over there.
Yeah.
So it's so important that you have somebody who cares enough about you to take out the time. So now, why do I say that? Well, because let's say you go to a call center, and you have somebody and they're just, you don't have a chance to say, I didn't understand that. Ma'am, is this good for you? Well, ma'am, is this good for you? Okay, ma'am, can we go on to the next thing? Right? We have something that's called a scope of appointment that we have to send out, and all that's good and well. However, that doesn't really protect you. Okay? There are things that have been put in place with the best of intentions. That's the best way I can say it. But it doesn't protect you, because what should protect you is how many times somebody calls you. Something that should protect you is if you know they're a real agent. Something that should protect you is that you have the ability to call that person back. So you get taken advantage of because you don't have anybody to call, unless you call the carrier. And when you do the call centers at the carrier, guess what their number one job is? Well, to keep you on board, right? Oh, ma'am, this is great. No, a lot of the carriers have changed their benefits. So you might as well just stay where you are. You don't have to do anything. Sounds good, right? Don't let somebody talk you into changing. Don't let anybody talk you into changing, right? So we have to understand everybody has a specific goal. What makes us different is that we are senior advocates and we are Medicare trained to get you in the right policy at the right time for everything that you need, whether it's regarding how much you're going to pay, whether it's the benefits, whether it's pharmacies. A lot of you guys didn't understand. Yeah, the pharmacy down the street is great. But the problem is, it's going to be expensive. You don't want to walk 2 more blocks down and get something for free. And if no one's explaining that to you, then you don't know. So it's important that when we talk about what went on, and it's crazy, I will tell you, it was simply crazy. But when you talk about what went on and how you can have solutions moving forward, you want to have conversations with an agent that really understands what you're experiencing and how to resolve those issues for you. So the reduction in benefits is definitely a key point you should be paying attention to in 2025. So you say, okay, but I'm in there now. Well, you're in something called the OEP, open enrollment period, which would be better said to call the disenrollment, because you have from January 1st to March 31st to do what? Change plans. Okay. Now, I have to put the caveat out there. You can go from Medicare Advantage and you can go to a Medicare supplement, but the supplement means that if you've already been in the space, that you might have to answer some health questions. Okay. So when it comes to navigating the waters, do not do it alone. Don't do it alone. You need to contact us. We've got agents across the country that can provide you with the information and the service you deserve as a Medicare recipient who has paid in to this for at least how many quarters, Alicia?
40 quarters or 10 years. Now,
Okay.
one thing that I would like to remind, for example, many Medicare recipients were in transitioning mode. Either they were moving to a different place or they were qualifying for Medicaid. The opportunity is now. If you got enrolled in a plan at that time, let's say a Medicare Advantage plan, but now you have two qualifications, the Medicare benefit and the Medicaid benefit. So now you have the right to do a change in plans, which means don't waste your time in staying in the plan that you're in today. Give us a call. We'll evaluate your condition once again based on the new benefits that you qualify for it. And if that's the case, you can receive more benefits that you deserve. But you don't know that. So that's why we're telling you that today. Give us a call. Let us know how it changed, whether you were able to qualify for Medicaid. And in some cases, we even help you, guiding you through the process, because you have to validate what is your income, what do you receive, what are your assets in order to qualify for those Medicaid benefits. So once again, the number is right below, 833-300-4968.
Now, I definitely have to bring this conversation back around to California. Why? Because those of you who cannot enroll right now due to the fires, don't panic. Do not panic. You will have something called SEP, which is a special enrollment plan that you can go into, right? So, and a special election period. Let me say it accurately. A special election period. And the reason I want you to understand that is because while you're trying to get a home, you're not thinking about health insurance right now. Would that be correct? While you are trying to get monies to be able to get food and shelter and all the ancillary things that you need to be able to live, you and your family, don't worry about it. It's not going anywhere for you guys. You guys can, up to, I think it's 60 or 90 days, you will still be able to have a special election period. Okay, so I don't want you to freak out about it. Take care of you right now. Take care of your family right now. When you're all settled, give us a call and we'll help you go through the next steps. But don't put that on your top list right now. Take care of your family right now and make sure that you have food and shelter. Okay, number 3, providers falling out of networks. We have seen that so much, it makes you want to cry when you watch the news and you find out a provider is no longer with one of the carriers in their networks, right, Alicia?
Right. One of those places was in Kansas City. 3 different major insurance carriers walk away from multiple counties. Thousands of Medicare recipients were left without insurance. That's awful.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They just don't care. They just walk away because those plans were not profitable. What does that mean to you? You have to reach out to one of us and find out what are any plans in my zip code that I'm able to qualify. And that's what we do best here. We evaluate your specific conditions, where you live, and what options are available to you. But don't think that there are no options. They are options. and we'll help you every step of the way.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that you'll hear regarding that will be contract disputes, right? It's not just Missouri or Kansas, it's Florida, and it's really across the country, because if you live in a rural area, there's a good chance that you're not going to find coverage there. There are a couple of times that I was looking for coverage and not one carrier was in that zip code. Not one. But there are people that live there. So that's kind of sad when you think about falling out of network and you add on to denials of claims. We have to be proactive in 2025. We've got to say we care about our clients, and we've got to make our voices known that we are not here to create problems. We're here to create solutions. And are there solutions? Absolutely. There was an executive with one of the carriers who said, yeah, unfortunately, the health system has been broken a long time, and we've just been patching it together. Well, maybe sometimes you just got to start over. Patching it together is still not giving the efficacy that people are looking for. Start over. Start now thinking about how can we do a better 2026? How can we give coverage to everybody? What about the doctors, Alicia, who weren't getting paid, right? And so that just added to all of the mayhem, because now you have your favorite doctor and he's like, I'm going to run out of business. They're not paying us for our services. We've got to have a voice. We have got to, agents, you guys out there listening to me, you guys, we need to band together and say, hey, these are some of the ways that we know from being boots on the ground that we can change. And it's the small fixes. It's the small fixes that make 2026 a better enrollment period. Talking to people, finding out what they experience. Not everything is a big fix. Now, patchwork works for a minute until it doesn't. And what we've seen is the patchwork over a period of time is no longer working. So we need to come up with solutions. Don't just bash carriers. Tell them what you've experienced and your solutions to make it better. And I think that if we take a more proactive approach, we'll be able to get further faster. So the providing of networks that are sustainable is important, not only for the beneficiaries, but for the providers, for the carriers, and for the agents who serve it. So this is a perfect segue into number 4, plans becoming non-commissionable. Alicia, I know you have talked to agents and talked to agents and talked to agents. Tell me how they feel when they are out there trying to give them the best and at the same time feed their families.
Many of agents are independent contractors, freelancers, in other words, okay? They work, they get paid. They don't work, they don't get paid. So when you enroll a client and you believe that's the best plan for that client because of the benefits, because of the client lives in a specific zip code and so on, and then you find out that you're not going to get a commission for that plan. How do you feel? Like somebody slapped you in the face. You work an hour, 2 hours. You went to visit the client. You did the application face to face to ensure that the client understood the process. And then, gee, thanks. The carrier will not pay you for anything. So that is, like I said, the slap in the face. We do the work, but we don't get the commission. We don't get paid for it.
And I think we need to take it to the next step. But somebody gets paid for it. The carrier gets paid for it because it's based on their negotiation with the government, right? So we've got to be able to really talk about what is going on, who is really getting compensated, right? And why do you find out at the end of the day that your agent is no longer interested in helping you? That should never be the case. It should never be because they're not getting paid. But I got to tell you, there are agents that are trying to live off of what they do. I guess they call it, Alicia, work. So if they're not getting paid, you can't really fault them for saying, I give up. I don't want to put all these hours in there because, yeah, that's a good plan. And I'm glad I'm taking care of you. But after I get off this call, I can't pay for any of the bills I have. I can't get food. I can't do this because I'm acting as if I'm a nonprofit, and they're not. They are providing a service just like the carriers, just like the providers, and they do deserve to get paid. I mean, that's just the bottom line. So it puts the agents in a really bad situation because there's so much to it when you want to do it right. Now, I'm not saying every person out there puts as much time and effort into helping as Alicia and all of our agents do. But I'm saying those ones who care deserve to get paid for their services. And I think you would agree too. The reason we've got Medicare is because you have provided service over 10 years and you are now getting reimbursed. But they're not, right? And that also kind of gets me into what happens when we talk about the licensing and the contracting. There are times that agents are still doing things, but there's a disconnect, a miscommunication between the carrier, the states that are licensing the people for whatever products they're doing, as well as getting appointed. There are things going on in the background that seniors know nothing about. And so I'd like to make that a little bit more transparent, Alicia, as to what that looks like and why everybody should be concerned that everybody's not being treated equitably.
Correct. So we need to simplify the process. If there are some requirements that every agent must have in order to offer Medicare or any other plan across the nation, make it simple, make it clear, put it on your website, on those Department of Insurance, so we know what a resident versus a non-resident agent needs to follow, needs to accomplish. I even have, and I'm not going to try to confuse you guys, I even have a reply from a executive at a big carrier. Her answer was, that's our protocol. When I brought an issue to her attention, that's our protocol. Do you think that's fair to say to a person that has spent hours with the recipient to ensure they receive the right plan? I don't think so. If you were me, how would you feel about it? So I will continue helping anybody that comes to me. I will help every step of the way. Because you know what? I'm extremely persistent. I don't give up. But to those carriers that do not care for their agents and their representatives, shame on you. Because you're the ones receiving money from the government, but you don't care about the people that represent you.
Well, the good thing is they get to keep the money regardless, right?
Right.
It seems like if the agent, for whatever reason, and I'm not here to defend, some of the agents do things that they know better. I grant it to you. But there are some that you go to, like the certain states, and the states will say you need to have qualifications for things that you are not writing. And so the person writes that, and then they don't get paid. So my idea is, well, if the agent doesn't get paid, neither does the carrier. And they need to let the agent rewrite it when they've got whatever that qualifications are or certifications, especially if it is ambiguous. Okay. And that's the issue that we've been struggling with for years. For years, I've been doing it for 26 years. So I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it continues to get uglier because everybody is not coming together to talk about it. And so what I want to do is bring more awareness to what's been going on behind the scenes, because you think, well, how hard is it? You just do a quote, you find an application, you sign them up, and off it goes. No, it's not quite that easy. It is not quite that simple. It could be if we made sure the beneficiary comes first, the providers are in there, the agents are in there, we all work together to make sure that everybody is being compensated and serviced properly, that the states make sure that the licensing is something that's uniform, right? Not that one does it this way and another does it that way. That the contracts are very simplified, Because I'll tell you, half the agents don't even read their contracts with the carriers. They're so long. You guys, I'm going to give you an example. It's like having your cell phone. How many times have you read the cell phone contract that you have done? Very few have done it. I mean, I know some that are really anal, but typically people don't read their telephone contract. And so what happens is, after it's said and done, you put the work in, then you find out, oh, I missed a box. And all they say is, I'm sorry. And when you talk to the carrier and their representatives, yeah, we've been telling them that's not good because they sure do deserve another chance, but we're going to keep the client anyway. So I want you to understand, this is the mayhem going behind the scenes. So when you get an agent who is not, what I'm going to say, good, because I think a good agent, doesn't matter what's going on, we'll fix it later. Take care of the beneficiary first. First and foremost, that is your job to do that. So all of our agents know exactly what should happen, how it should happen. And if they need support, well, of course, Alicia and I are always there to make sure that things are done in order with the highest respect and the best customer service available. You deserve that. And so at Bivix Wealth and Insurance Solutions, we don't just come out and say, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. We say, well, this could be done better. We could add a little bit more on here. This is how we can change. What's a good workaround? But if you have agents that put people in plans and they're not getting paid, I don't think they really are concerned about the workaround, Alicia.
No, they're just doing it to get a commission. And here, that's not what comes first to us. It's the Medicare recipient that we're here to help. I even print their insurance card, and I'm not going to mention any carriers, because after 3.5 weeks, the Medicare recipient has not received her welcome kit. I went to the site, I print it out, and I mail it to the person. Because it's unthinkable to me that after 3.5 weeks, the person hasn't received it. And all I heard was, well, the recipient needs to allow it 14 business days. And remember, Christmas was in between. Is that the best excuse that you can come up with? Wow. And I say, no, I go above and beyond for my clients because they're my extended family. So to those carriers, there is still a bunch of slowpokes. Do better for your clients. You're already making enough money. Expedite their kits as you should. I'm sorry, Monet, but I get so frustrated.
Yeah.
Because one day I'm going to be a senior and I'm going to be treated the same way that I treat my clients, with dignity, with respect, and with caring.
They deserve it. We all deserve it, right?
Exactly.
And it's understanding that the landscape has changed. People are speaking out, but let's do it in a way that creates solutions, not do it in a way that creates more hardships for everyone. And I think that's the takeaway for today's message, is that we want people to understand there are better ways to deal with all of this. There really are. It's not that challenging. You don't need to be a physicist to come up with solutions for some of these things. And so I think what I wanted you to know, and I want it to be the takeaway for today's webinar, we're all in this together, guys. We really are. If you are young, you've got parents that are still alive, you ought to get involved. Don't let your mom do something that you know she's not qualified to do, because she might do it over and over and over and over and over again and end up with the worst plan possible. Because when agents go in and they send in applications, if it goes from one carrier to another carrier, it will push out that other one they had before. So they could have had a great one, but somebody else kept calling knowing that this person can be victimized. If you are a POA, you need to be with your mother when she's doing an application. She may say, yeah, I have one, but he doesn't really work with this or work with that. And we've seen that over and over and over again. So it's understanding whether you're the beneficiary, whether it's your mother, your dad, your aunt, your grandmother, whoever it is, yourself. Be supportive. Get the information. Go to the experts. Don't rely on just a friend. Well, my friend, I can't tell you how many times I heard this. Well, my friend has so-and-so carrier. Okay, so I want to have that carrier. You're not your friend. You guys don't even have the same situation medically, any of the same health conditions. Go to a professional. And then do your research. Make sure you're going to one that does something. Go to somebody like us who has a presence on social media. Why? Because you can find us. We have our telephone number on there. You don't have to guess as to where we are or if we're licensed. You don't have to guess. Everything is right there. Now, I will say this. One of the most challenging things during AEP, and it will be during OEP as well, is getting the information to the senior. Alicia, how hard was it for you to be able to get the scope of appointment when seniors don't have computers, don't have emails? Look at it is, we're old school. Well, unfortunately, new school is ruling the game. So we need to get you an email. We got to get some way to get this information to you. You would think this has been going on long enough that we understand we can't do it that way. It's too hard. Or if you're going to do it, you've got to do it 48 hours in advance. Well, some of these people have lives. They're like, I don't know what I'm going to do 48. Just because I'm retired doesn't mean that I'm dead. I want to see you now. I feel like doing it now. We've got to have these conversations, and it's very, very challenging to go forward and keep the momentum up and happy and yay. And then you get ready and you're ready to do the application. And I said, okay, what's your email? Oh, I have an email.
Right.
All carriers should be a high recommendation. I don't want to use the word force. High recommendation that they make everything telephonic. Period. It's just easy. It's simple. You can get it done right now. The 48-hour rule doesn't do anything. It really doesn't. Now, you may think so, but if somebody can do as many SOAs as they can, they're going to call them as many times as they can. That doesn't really do anything. You're not protecting anybody. So we need to go back and look at the requirements and find out the efficacy of them. Are they working? Are they actually protecting? And if they're not, throw it out, bring something else in. You can do it all on the phone, and it's going to be more organic. You've got the person there. They're going to say why they're there. Do it so it's easy for the beneficiary to be able to get the job done. What are your thoughts on that?
It was incredible to find out that the majority of our seniors don't have cell phones, or they don't know how to use them, or they don't have an email, because it's like, what do I need an email for? That was the number one answer I received. I don't need an email. Now, in some applications, the email is required, and in some of them is optional. So we have been told you are not allowed to create an email for the recipient. So we tried to come up with multiple suggestions for them to get one. And it was thanks to the caregiver, I have to say, she's an angel, to that person, that the person was successful in getting registered. We even go behind after everything got done. Okay, you got the card? Thank God, it's about time. Let's register the card together. Because that print is so small, Monet, not even with the magnifier, they can see the number.
Oh, I know. Where are my glasses? Where are my glasses?
Right, I can't see the benefit card number. Yeah, because it's too small. So it should be illegal to print those small numbers so little. Even myself, okay, with these readers, I was like, wow, that is really bad. So put yourselves in the Medicare recipient shoes.
Absolutely.
Okay? They need help in every possible way. From the Medicare medicine that they don't understand. I don't even know what I'm taking this for. That was one thing. I say, not a problem. We're going to call your pharmacist and we're going to get the answer for you, which I did quite a few times. Third, make it easier for them to just receive a welcome kit. It doesn't need to take 3.5 weeks for somebody to get it. 4, simplify the process for them. How hard is it to make everything telephonic? And also, make it in multiple languages. Because, again, I'm not going to mention the carrier. They were not all the language they claimed to have. They did not have translators at the time of enrollment. Wow. So don't overpromise something that you're not able to offer.
Yeah.
I could speak multiple languages, but I don't. I get confused enough among just 2. But there was a person that I was not able to help. And I'm so sorry for that. But when I reach out to the carrier, oh no, we don't have a translator on hand. Then why do you say that you support the language? So,
hello.
As a summary from me, when you call Vivix Wealth and Insurance Solutions, all our certified senior advocates and insurance agents are here to help you, and we will not give up until you're all set.
That piece. Say that again, Alicia.
We will never give up. We're always here to help you out.
Yep.
We will mail you what is necessary. We will visit your place. And I did it. I almost drove 2 hours to help someone. And he is my friend for life now. And I wish him the very best. I got lost on the way back home, but who cares? I made it back.
Well, that's what community is about, right? I mean, I'm going to be coming up to the East Coast because I have several clients, friends, family. Put them all in the same boat because they are. And what makes me feel good is they feel good. They feel relevant, you guys. If you're not in your 60s, if you haven't retired, you don't know what it looks like. You don't know what it feels like. So stop getting on these podcasts talking about I'm 30 years old and you guys don't need this. You don't know. You have not walked in our moccasins. That's the ending side of it. But it's important to understand, put yourself in somebody else's place before you decide how they should be treated. Don't treat them the way you feel you should be treated. Don't treat them the way you treat other people that's not positive. Everybody can find ways to treat people badly. You don't get any awards for that. Go out of your way. Show them that you care. Do more than what's expected and make it real and authentic. And organically, the companies grow based on the truth. I don't want to hear about facts because we can use facts in all different kind of ways, which we have seen when it comes to reporting not only the profits, but the revenue. We can make stats say all kind of things, you guys, and that's real. But what we want you to have is the truth. And the truth is something that we provide here at Vivix Wealth and Insurance Solutions. From the agents to their cell phone numbers, to the accessibility, to being, as far as our ethics are just impeccable, because we want to be your preference for everything. We call it lifetime value. That's what we want to be able to offer you. And we want you to know when we say it, we mean it. We don't say it and then we walk away and you can't find us. And that's the reason that our clients, our family and friends have created a community based on love. If you can't do that and you're just in sales, then go sell some cars or go sell some shoes or whatever. You're dealing with people's lives. Treat them accordingly because it comes back to you. You can treat people badly if you want, but I think we have seen that bad things do come back and they come back quicker and they come back with fervor. So do the right thing when people aren't looking. Always do the right thing. Alicia?
I'm going to say this last. I love every single one of our Medicare recipients that we have helped, and we're looking forward to helping even more. So If you're looking for a transparent, honest individuals that will help you and they were always going to look out in your best interest, give us an opportunity. You're meeting us here. Give us a call. Interview us. Find out who we are. And you'll find out that you will not find more transparent, more honest, more ethical people than us. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here today. We're looking forward to serving you more in 2025. And to those out there that haven't had the opportunity to meet us, here we are. Give us a call. The number's on the bottom of the screen, 833-300-4968.
And make sure you watch this. Watch it over and over again. Send it to your family, your friends. People always say like, share, subscribe. Yes. Do all of that because we are the change makers. We are the disruptors. We're not taking it laying down, but we're also not complaining. We're also saying, we've got the answers. Give us a call. Carriers, you've got representatives out there. Call us. We have more than enough time to sit down and talk to you about 2026. And not just talk to you, but give you some real solutions on how to make things better for everyone. So we love you. Thank you for being here. Stay happy.
Stay healthy.
And stay golden. I'm Monet Swan. See you next week.
Volcano. Bye for now.